Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here for our State Street Waterfront wrap, and Happy New Year. This is our first wrap meeting of the new year. Grateful for you all for making time for this. Wanted to start just with some general announcements, as we usually do. Number one is, if you haven't gotten 20 emails already, the point in time count is coming up very, very soon, less than 2 weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday. And we are in need of quite a few more volunteers. So anything you can do to help us spread the word, tell your family, your friends, your softball team, if you're part of a faith community, help us share the posts that are on social media or the flyers, or just take a screenshot here. But yeah, we need as many volunteers to try and get an accurate count as possible to try and help us get sufficient funding for our community. In general, the upcoming calendar is that the point in time count will be on the 24th. And then we will have a State Street neighborhood walk that Friday at 3 p.m. And we'll be meeting in front of Starbucks on Coda and State. So we encourage you to join us if you're able to. We'll be walking up and down talking to business owners, as well as engaging the people experiencing homelessness in that neighborhood. We also wanted to talk briefly about the new exciting possibility for downtown of a daytime navigation center opening for people experiencing homelessness. So I'm going to turn it to Barbara, and then I'm happy to chime in as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. So this is something we've been working on since I was hired in my new position. A need that we've seen demonstrated year over year is to have a safe space for people to go to during the day that are experiencing homelessness, and be able to access a variety of resources. And so what we've done the last couple of years is really focused on the neighborhood navigation centers, which is meeting unsheltered folks where they're at in different locations, to really understand better how best to serve them, if the services were being utilized, and if we were able to actually facilitate successful exits from homelessness, whether interim housing or permanent housing pathways. That has been successful. The investments for us have had positive measurable outcomes. And again, the accessibility was really, really well received. So those three sites, the rescue mission, the commuter lot, and the Alameda Park location, over those 2.5 year period, again, has led us to where we are today, which is a physical location and site in the downtown area that would be open 5 days a week, initially for a 4-hour period, hoping to expand to a 6-hour period, utilizing the same service provider partners that are currently working together and collaborating at the neighborhood navigation center locations, as well as being able to provide a level of basic needs, release services, and being able to support people, especially during inclement weather. So we have some hurdles ahead of us, and we will be communicating to all of you as we get closer, but really want to encourage your advocacy and support for this location, especially folks that have had that one-on-one experience with people experiencing homelessness and know how much the need is been demonstrated. And I would say too, we really are hoping for positive reductions on impacts on our business corridors, waterfront area, as well as, the neighborhoods throughout the city. So this location would transition the Alameda Park NNC and the commuter lot NNC, but we are going to continue the rescue mission NNC, again, just to be able to provide those services to East Siders, and to be able to be accessible to that particular neighborhood. We have a lease agreement, so this will be a 3-year lease agreement we're proposing at this location downtown. And that lease agreement has to go before mayor and council. So that is really an important point for advocacy and support. And then we also need a conditional use permit on the space. So the good thing is that we all have a lot of experience. And so all of the things that we can do to mitigate impacts externally to the facility have been considered in choosing the property that we're engaging in a lease agreement with, hopefully, as well as the neighborhood that we've identified that would be ideal, the specific location, proximity or lack thereof to public parks, the library, other agencies that we know, again, are heavily impacted and already engaged. And that we're trying to really be a shared network of resources. So all of us can work in concert together to address the needs that we're seeing. So all of those considerations have gone into the location first, and then there's a lot of measures that are going to be in play to make sure that we're constantly addressing and anticipating, what could result from having folks in the area that haven't been in that area before, as well as trying to serve as many people as we possibly can at that location. We have an informational flyer that's being created right now, talking about those considerations, talking about the programmatic objectives, how people can reach out, that will be distributed as part of that State Street wrap walk. And we'll also be doing door-to-door outreach in the vicinity of the neighborhood. We also have and have already started a number of community engagement meetings, presenting the center, why we wanted to pursue this, why it's a priority for mayor and council and city administration, as well as across city departments. This has been a priority for us. And again, how we will measure our effectiveness, and if there's any adjustments that will be made along the way, that we will adjust. So the city will be the leasee of the property, and SB Act will be the primary nonprofit service provider that will staff the center. And then the additional bonus is that because we're taking over the entire property, hopefully, again, mayor and council have to approve this, that the second floor can be utilized for office space for nonprofit service providers that are working to address homelessness and behavioral health in the city. So SBX is going to help and has already started initiating those conversations. But if anyone's looking for office space, this is an opportunity for us to work together. So cross your fingers, be there when we ask you to be there, please. And again, I'm really looking forward to building on the success of the neighborhood navigation centers by having this physical location. Happy to take any initial questions too.
Don't see
How
any question.
likely,
Oh, go ahead.
how likely is this vote to sway our way? I don't know if you're allowed to say that or not.
I would
Does
not
it-
have been spending so much time on this for the past year if it wasn't from the direction of mayor and council. So our ad hoc committee on homelessness, which was 3 council members, we had a meeting in May where a daytime navigation center was one of the recommendations from this ad hoc group. Our mayor is very supportive. We have council members that have hit the pavement with us in support of this. So yeah, and I guess I can say that I would not be working so hard on this if I felt like that was not the direction that we were given and that we have support.
Beautiful. I think that this is definitely a needed part in our community. But to hear you give us your spiel and seem so excited about it is just so great. So thank you for doing all of that, because we need these spaces.
And I have some bruises from the planning commission process already. So
I bet you do.
so those are the 2 key junctures. So we're gonna go before mayor and council for the lease agreement. And then we have to apply for, and we've started the process of a conditional use permit. So we need folks at both. So we'll be, communicating broadly the planning commission date when we have that, and then we're getting closer to that council date as well.
Yeah, the odds are in our favor, but they're even more in our favor the more of us can show up and speak in support. So
Yeah, well, let us know those dates with some anticipation, and we will get out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
we'll do, and we'll share talking points as well. So yeah, we think this could be a big win-win because it I hopefully will be reducing the impact of homelessness in the downtown area. And then our ultimate goal here is that more people will be able to get into housing because it'll be so much easier for them to just be able to show up to one place and access the services they need all at once. So.
And John, we're trying to reduce your coffee budget. I'm trying to see if we can get coffee served regularly at the center. John is the one from CityNet that always is going to Starbucks, grabbing a cup of coffee to start a conversation. So learning from you about all the things that we need to make sure that we're providing there too.
Awesome. Thank you, Barbara. And Barbara has lost a lot of sleep over this. So we do really appreciate all your ongoing work on this. On a related note too, we're hoping to keep going with all of these wraps for the foreseeable future, but we are hoping to increase some of our focus on some of the most vulnerable among us, specifically those with the behavioral health challenges. And so we'll share more in the coming weeks, but we're currently developing sort of our list of the most high acuity individuals that we'll be really trying to target through our meetings this year. So stay tuned for more. All right. I think with that, we'll go ahead and go to our outreach providers for some updates. So Anais and Good Samaritan, can we start with you?
Yes, of course. Good afternoon, everyone. So we have been going through some pretty amazing transitions here at Good Sam. As you know, we continue to grow. It seems like weekly at this point. So I'm having a lot of changes in staff. People are growing to other programs, onboarding new staff. So we're in the process of doing that. I will probably reach out to a couple of you to see if my new staff can shadow you. But that's just what my focus has been for the last about 2 to 3 weeks, just transitioning staff into different programs, getting new staff as trained as possible so they can hit the ground running. And that just takes a long time. You know, it's I always tell everyone on my first interview with them, I'll teach you all the mundane stuff, right? HMIS and all the other horrible stuff. But I can't teach you kind. So every person that's on my team definitely does that part. So that's just sort of where we are right now. I will have a much better update hopefully next week as we get a little bit more outside.
Great, thank you, Anais. Let's go to our CityNet team.
Hello, everybody. I'm here with John, Olivia, and Al, and Carl in our office. It's been pretty productive past couple of weeks for us. We got one individual from the Montecito area into permanent housing last week, and that was a huge team effort. We were also able to fill up all our path beds, so those are all currently at capacity. So we're continuing our regular case management to the folks there. Huge shout out to John and Olivia because nearly all of our clients who are at PATH are currently document ready. So that was an effort in itself. It's taken a long time. And we were able to get 2 individuals fully document ready last week. So that's been a big effort on our end. Also making sure that we're connecting folks to income. And yeah, as of right now, we're continuing our regular outreach. My focus during the daytime is definitely the waterfront and the east side area. So shout out to Odin, who's been really instrumental on the east side and helping us continue our outreach efforts there. And then John and Olivia mostly cover as well the downtown area and the waterfront as well as the underpasses. So yeah, feel free to reach out if you guys have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Christina.
I just want to share special thanks to CityNet. You worked through the holidays. I think you only took Christmas Day off. I just really appreciate the presence. It has been so helpful for us to have someone to go to, be a resource, have that presence, even through the city holiday closure. So just special thanks to the team for sure for being the boots on the ground.
Thank you, Barbara. I just wanted to jump on top of that to thank all the team because I literally had the whole team fill in and being able to have, time off. And obviously with John and Olivia, they work nights and weekends. Not everyone is willing to work, those days and those times. And so also being able to give them their time off that they so well deserve, for all their hard work. So I want to thank all my team players over here and having each other's back. We are so united. I'm so grateful for all you guys. And thank you, Barbara, for the work you guys do as well.
And then let's go to Odin from PATH.
Hello everyone, this is Odin at Outreach Specialist for Pat Santa Barbara. I just want to give you guys just a little bit of an update. We are hitting the new year off with a bang. Got 3 new intakes, all from the waterfront, 1 closer to the zoo and then 2 closer to the East Beach volleyball courts. Continuing to do case management on Cacique Street, but mostly, but also on the waterfront as well. Got continued client follow-ups. One, I'm helping her appeal her SSI denial, and couple more just that I'm currently working on with regards to like document readiness, going to doctor's appointments, all that good stuff. One of my clients also yesterday just went to her housing eligibility appointment, so fingers crossed she has issued a housing voucher or an equivalent. A long time person on the east side, jumping back and forth between here and the waterfront. So very excited to hear any developments about that from her Be Well caseworker. But besides that, things just continue to outreach to businesses as well, refresh those connections. I just touched base with the one of the supervisors over in at the post office. Oh my gosh, yeah, sorry, it's been a long day over at the post office there, and continue to connect with the rest of the businesses with the start of the new year. So yeah, I just want to give you guys a little bit an update there. And looking forward for the rest of 2024.
Thank you, Odin. Appreciate that. And then anything from your team, Commander Katsapis?
No, the only thing that I'll add is you mentioned mental health being a priority for 2024. And on that same note, we've expanded our co-response team recently. We actually have 3 officers assigned to it now. We're still looking to expand the clinician portion of it, but we're going from 4-day-a-week coverage to 7-day-a-week coverage starting this Saturday. So that's new, but that team will now be available 7 days a week to help support folks in mental health crisis throughout our community.
That's very cool. I'm really excited to hear that. I also wanted to just make note, in case anybody is new on the call and hasn't heard, but we do have these business cards that have all of the kind of relevant numbers to call for different homelessness related concerns you might have, including numbers that go directly to some of our outreach staff who are on this call right now. So if you don't have these and you'd like some, please let me know. I'm happy to bring a stack to your organization or just to you directly, and we can go from there. And there's also a QR code on the backside that takes you to the full directory, because there's a lot more phone numbers and that you can call for different kinds of issues. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and open it up for any concerns or questions from the community. Not seeing any at the moment.
So I don't have a concern, but I did want to make a little announcement. I've transitioned away from the Santa Barbara Hotel Collection, so I won't be representing that business on these calls, but I will be continuing to do restorative approaches and consultation full time. So I am happy to contribute in that way.
Thank you, Liz. We'll miss seeing you in your capacity.
Yeah. It's
Is
been wonderful working with you.
Is there a contact for the SB Hotel Group moving forward that you would recommend? We can talk about
Yes, I will. That will be Greg at sbhotels.com, Greg Broussard.
Okay, thank you. Well, we're glad we'll still see you around.
Yes.
Anything else? Okay.
Landon, I just want to say that, we've been receiving multiple reports about an individual on Figueroa, that 100 block, 0 to 100 block. There's been a lot of engagement, and we're ready to take additional steps. The city staff is, so we can talk about it more with the service provider team, but I just want people to know that those reports have been received, and we are actively responding.
Thank you. There's a question in the chat about publishing those contact cards on Nextdoor or media outlets, and I think that's a great idea. So we can definitely do that. All right. Well, thank you to our community members. We're going to have the outreach staff stick around and we'll be able to talk specifically about the clients. So we'll say goodbye to our community members for now. And hopefully we'll see you at the walk on the 26th or the point in time count on the 24th. I should start there. So, all right, take care.